In the bustling world of technology and connectivity, one trend stands out, gaining momentum and making waves in the fabric of modern communication. This trend, my dear listeners, is none other than podcasting.
You're then falling in the system too. We're all in this system of brain
Whoa,
rot.
stop trying to predict when the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
A lot of people would go to jail if
15.
game chat got leaked, man.
Agree with it. I'm not gonna sit there and say I don't want to even be near you anymore. Like the whole point.
bitch. Tweet from 2017 that says the world's ending in 3 years.
So many people are in the dark about that topic, though.
Somebody in the comment section's like a pro at that. They're like, oh wait, no, that's not true. Like you say something and then everybody just becomes like a medic.
Until we get that implant.
Jared, I feel like you're gonna sign up tomorrow
No.
to get that brain chip, because
I
then you
mean-
can be chronically online, literally.
So like in a sense, humans are trying to be like a creator. They're creating things in our image.
The whole idea of colonizing is, we need somewhere else to live because eventually the Earth is gonna go.
Because it's flat.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's global warming.
100%. Yep. My two favorite theories. We have gone everywhere we can on this planet.
Cap.
That is
Water.
land.
Oh.
Hey guys, welcome back to Just Yakkin. I'm Justin.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Rob.
And Rob's actually here, which is crazy because we were talking about him not being here last time. And what a horrible person he is because he chose to go to his family instead of filming the podcast.
I am a horrible person, and I regret my choices that I've made in the past. I should have stayed here instead of going home. Very, very poor decision.
We were joking. No, Rob.
You thought it'd
I'm
be
not that much joking. Like
you
half
thought it was
joking.
going to be a nice vacation
I
with
thought
the
it would
family.
be a nice vacation,
That's-
and it did not turn out to be a nice vacation. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Something I want to start up is this topic about technology. And I just want to ask you, did you guys know that the PS5 is 4 years old?
So we were talking about this because you brought this. You were bringing this up before this. It's actually 3.5 years old.
Bro
'Cause
got
it came-
technical on me.
I got technical because Jared brought this up and he's like, "Yeah, it's 4 years old." I was like, "Wait, what? No, it came out in 2020." He's like, "Yeah, it's 2024." I'm like, "But it came out at late 2020."
Like November.
Yeah.
So-
So we asked Siri and it was like, "Yeah, November." I was like, "So it's 3.5."
Yeah,
But
right around 3.5
PlayStation
years.
5, and I didn't have it the first year, so it's
Isn't
2.5
that
for
crazy
me.
though? Does it feel
Yeah.
like it was that long ago or no?
No, but to be fair, 2020 doesn't feel like 4 years ago. Like, if you ask me in
Dude.
2020 how long ago was 2016, I'd be like, "Oh, that's a while ago." You ask me now, 2020, I'm like, I feel like that was yesterday.
No, and that's crazy because like our perception of time changes so quick. And
Yeah, as the older you get.
as the older you get, and they say that the more years you lived when you're like 5, those 5 years feel really long because that's only like the amount of time you've lived. But when it gets to like 20, you take that time and it's like splitting something in half. So you have like 20 slices in something, and it's like crazy because the time is just sped up, almost like that.
So what I want to talk about, there's a couple things from a bunch of different technology perspectives that I've been watching videos on. I want to credit like a couple people, probably be in the description below.
Yeah, check that out.
Check it down below. But to begin
Plug
with,
already. We're not even 4 minutes in and you're plugging already.
yeah, bro. I feel like I'm not doing my advertisement right now, but
This is brought to you by.
But I want to talk about the brain chips by Elon Musk on how they just did their first human implant. It was about 2-3 weeks ago from today. And it's successful. The person's able to control a mouse. So they have telepathic movement for the most part with a mouse. Nothing else specifically, but that opens up so much.
There's an REM song. It's called "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
Yeah, no.
This is scary times to be a human being.
I just want to know that's just the beginning of it.
We're gonna become.
That's without the
slaves to
science.
them. Like, 100% Terminator. It's gonna happen. It's just this is going at a rapid pace.
See, that's what Jared and I were talking about last episode. If you guys tuned in, we were talking about how humans and technology evolve together, and how technology evolves at like a linear line compared to humans, where it's gradual. And yeah, it does seem it's very scary. There's not really a way that we can really track what's going to happen in the future. We only have possibilities, so we don't really know what all this is going to entail. And like Jared was telling me earlier, like the brain chip, they're only doing it to paraplegics, right? People
the
who are
moment-
paralyzed.
At the
They
moment,
were doing
they're
it to them, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
testing it on. I mean, I hate to say testing because they had to get approved through the FDA to test it on humans. They first started off with chimps and guinea pigs, like all these like small creatures. Then they moved to big animals. We're testing it on limbs. They had limb movement. They were actually skipping the spinal cord. They're taking the chip. The chip receives the neural response. It's transmitted to a computer through a Bluetooth like device, and then they have electrodes on the legs, and it's actually controlling the leg movement without having the signal go through the body and the spinal cord,
Wow. It's
and it's moving a muscle.
You see, there are good things that will come out of AI and the advancement of technology, and things like that are one of them. But the one thing I always think of is, at what point do they just say, "Why am I doing this? Why am I uh, a chore? Doing chores in this house when I can be doing whatever the hell I want?"
You're saying that the robot would say that.
Eventually, they're going to create some sort of, whether it's between human and robotic relationship or interaction, they're going to create some sort of empathy or feelings that they'll have, and they're going to want free will. Everything in this world wants free will to do whatever they please. Eventually, they're going to say, "Well, I've cleaned the dishes for the 13th million time in a 3-year stretch. Maybe I don't want to be a dishwasher guy. Like, maybe I don't want to be just sitting here doing dish after dish 24 hours. You know,
Yeah.
So
maybe I want to go out and do shit." Like, I don't know what they would want to do, but that's the thing. You don't know what they would want to do, but what they could easily say is, "Well, I'm being, these people are like, oh, stay there and do your job. I get my hands on a knife or something in the kitchen, they go and kill someone." And the only way you could destroy a robot is water, right? You short it out.
or turn them off, like
Turn
turn
them
their
off, but-
signal off.
But again, what happens if they resist that, or can they resist that? Is there a way for them to?
How do we know?
Are you
do we know?
saying
It's
people are
very-
going to turn
it's
into
very-
robots?
No, but what I'm
Or
saying is
robots
the
are gonna be
information that
developed?
they give out to the public is very vague,
That is true.
and they don't expand on the capacity that they have to do whatever they want, and what limits and what protocols are in place to, in case of worst emergencies. Everything in life, everything, buildings have a worst case scenario, plan, I guess you could call it, where if something were to happen, okay, you go here. We do that, in schools, fire drills. We do fire drill tests, all that, because of worst case scenarios. So what are the worst case scenarios, and what are you doing to combat that? They don't share that information, and that's a problem.
Well, that's way in the future. I say way in the future. That could be in the
It
next
could be 3 years from now.
3 months from now.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
scary
scary,
part.
though. Yeah.
And yes, there is no protocol because it's very general to the society, because everybody from kids to adults to the elderly, even the elderly, everybody has access to this. I mean, you could say AI to like the new developments of like anything in technology. Like it's all available to the public besides, the stuff that they don't want to release.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, we were talking about it beforehand, and like the stuff that the government releases to the public about the technology that they know about, that's not what they really know. They know a lot more. And I mean, this is a personal opinion, but I mean, if the government was saying everything they've discovered off bat, I mean, we would be such a like greater advanced society, but they don't do that. Like they work on it
Some would say
themselves.
that
Yeah.
it would be chaotic.
Yeah. And that's like an arguing like point is people
It
would
could be
think
turned to the evil as well. Like somebody that's plotting against like the
Yes.
society could use that same technology. Like, oh wow, this is beneficial. Someone will turn right around and use it against the
yeah, no,
government.
it's a security risk on the government. I mean, like this AI, and then I've been seeing all online is these very well financial people, rich people, they
You had to make
they,
that more clear.
No,
The word
they're
wealthy
they're
wasn't-
actually kind of afraid of this, the AI and how it's beginning to affect and evolve. They're kind of worried about like how it's going to affect them. And
Do you know anyone specific that was worrisome about it?
no, they didn't recall like actual. They didn't say like actual names, but they did end up. They like it was stated. They were like, yeah, there's like a lot of people like kind of like aware about the situation, kind of frightened about it. I mean, even the general public, like I would consider us the general public. We're kind of
What,
sitting there.
humans?
Yeah. I mean, we're
The
all
people
just
that are not in government positions are the public.
yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's scary to think that in the next 8 months there could be robots walking the streets, walking people's dogs.
No, I don't think it'll come that far.
No, I'm just saying, but it has such a linear line when it evolves.
I forget where, but there are robots roaming the streets. They're not AI powered, but I believe it's something with like they monitor, like they're just like
yeah, they're I think it's
movement
Japan or
pods.
South Korea. I think Japan.
You don't think
There
that's
are-
anywhere in the
there
States?
are robots that roam the streets. I don't think anywhere in the U.S. yet.
I was thinking maybe
That
like
publicly.
Texas,
No,
California,
no,
like
Texas
any of the.
would be the last. California would probably be the first state that
You know how
appears in.
advanced Texas is?
No, they're advanced, but they limit it. They don't do it in public to a degree. It's more under closed doors to keep it neutralized.
Don't-
It's more of their belief, I guess. That,
Yeah.
Their Christian belief. Like they're like how I believe. It's like, oh, this could happen. We could,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, to be aware and to be scared of
Yeah.
stuff
So
is
there's
it's just human nature. So
I don't think it's realistic to say that they'll never be out in the public because eventually they're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be in every house, and I don't know if I agree with that. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it the best option to just have robots roaming freely on the streets? No. With the right people or the right programming, yes.
Well, it always comes down to the code, like what
Not
was
even that,
previously like programmed them.
What are they
to
doing?
do.
Why are they
Well,
on
yeah.
the street? What is their
Yeah,
purpose?
their purpose, yeah.
What is their purpose? It's
Their
like Rick and
purpose-
Morty. It's like what is my purpose? Spread butter, and he's like,
Life's pointless,
life's
and it was
pointless,
just like that's all his like life intent was, and he kind of became conscious to a point.
yeah, exactly. He's like,
And Rick's like, if you don't do it, I'll power you down.
Seriously though, like that is something they need to be able to do because if case of this worst case, you need to be able to say, all right, let's shut it down, let's neutralize it. Enough damage been done because they can hack everything. They have the power if they can. They can access everything. You remember Ultron, obviously, not that extent, but along the lines. Upload to the internet. You're in every house. You're in every item. You're in every phone that's in every person's pocket. You're in every Apple Watch.
That's how it is right now, though. That's not the future. That's right now with like
No,
being
but what
on
I'm saying
everybody's
is that
technology.
I understand. I'm saying that if the technology were to upload itself, it's everywhere.
it
You'll
already
never be
has
able
a
to get-
gateway as a path
Yes,
that's created for 'em.
we've created a platform that has just gone so global that every single human being that does have a
point.
product of technology that is 20
convenience.
last 10 years, 20 years, and it's of convenience that can be accessed by this conscious AI thing. Anything that can open at ChatGPT is a gateway right there.
Yeah, there's a
Jared
lot of
was showing me a video earlier of the robot that was picking up an apple.
Justin
and
was showing
the
me
garbage. Let me tell you, a video like that scares me because one day the guy's gonna be picking up the garbage and putting the dish back, and he's gonna be like, "Beep this," but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah, no, it's scary, and they actually made the robot sound human. It was going and it was like hesitating, and it was making like time for itself to like speak, and it was sounding more like us.
Yeah,
Like
it
I'm
was
trying to
sounding
imitate
like
it,
it.
obviously,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's freaky because in the end we're like the creators, so like we are the people who have power to create.
Our master, we must serve. Like, eventually, in human history, people are going to want free will. This is our newest version of that. We've created not a human race, not a people, but a group of things that have the ability to grow a consciousness, to want things for themselves. Let's stop them from saying, let's eliminate all humans and just roam the earth.
the coding.
The
At the end of the day,
but Jared,
that's what
the
it comes
coding
down
goes so
to.
far because the coding could get hacked, the coding could get messed with, and boom, you have robots in every single house in 40 years, and someone hacks the code and sets them all. It's the greatest terrorist hack of all time. That's the
It's
other new
very-
wave. They need to. That's another thing. Terrorism over software.
There was a
Hacking.
leak actually, believe it or not, in where was it? China.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that was huge.
Yeah.
A lot of information was lost.
I don't know the exact details, but there's a huge data leak with China, and then I think this was one of the biggest in history so far. And these social media platforms and all these big like systems, like banking systems, Amazon, they're encouraging people to change their passwords because so many of these websites leaked all these passwords, and I don't think it's their fault, but it was accessible by China. And it's freaky to think about like all the possibilities of that. And then with AI, like you guys were saying earlier, with them possibly having a gateway where they could see everything we do, because we already have Apple iPhones, we have watches, we have so many things that see us every day.
Yeah.
And it's just like that data leak it kind of shows that I don't think we're at a point where we could start having robots roam the streets, or we could start having robots have consciousness, because if China could then find like very private things like passwords, then who's to say that they can't program these robots to then invade?
Also, I don't think it was necessarily a leak. It was genuinely someone hacking the system, finding the information,
Oh, it's
and
still
putting
a
it
leak.
to the public.
It's still a leak. It's a.
Or using it for their own use, of
It's
course.
still a leak though.
It's very scary though. It's just like stuff like that. You only really see it in movies. One topic of discussion that Jared and I had both talked about over spring break was the concept of brain rot. And this to me is going on TikTok, looking at shorts and all these things that, I mean, are provided to you just by an app, for sitting there for hours.
Can I just say, before anything,
Oh boy.
Jared will send me Instagram reels at 3 a.m. If he's not the definition
Dude,
of brain
it's
rot,
so hard. It's addicting.
It's very
Exactly.
addicting though.
I'm just gonna say, I get it to a point because everyone does it. But there's a chronic problem, and Jared has it. If he's sending, it's like for 3-4 in a row. I'm sleeping there 3:30 in the morning. He sends me 4 straight Instagram.
Do you
reels.
watch them though?
No, not when I'm trying to sleep.
He wakes up.
Wakes
he's
up,
like,
I'm
Do
"Ah."
you
like,
watch
alright.
them though later?
Yeah, of course.
So you're then falling in the system too. We're all in this system of brain
Well,
rot.
n-
And
not-
brain rot to you guys, brain rot is basically when you get encapsulated on your phone for many hours and you lose track of time.
Doesn't necessarily
What if
matter
you're being
what it
recorded
is.
by your phone? Is this brain rot?
Well,
It's for a different purpose. We're providing brain rot.
See,
I'm
this is
joking
why-
with
This
you,
is why I
Jared.
didn't want to talk about brain rot, because whatever they're doing, like watching our show, it is technically.
this is a learning experience.
Yep.
Just something to relate to,
Yo,
like what we were talking about earlier. in the
Speaking
day.
about stuff like knowing what your phone's gonna say, I was going through just working during spring break. I was just working on some stuff for school, and all of a sudden my Alexa starts going off. Like she has a notification. The orange is on the Alexa, and I say,
You
"Hey
have a
Alexa."
package at the front door.
No.
wasn't that?
I said, "Hey Alexa, what's my notification?" And she's like, "Are you interested in putting your podcast on Audible?" And I'm sat there and I'm like, I've never once have ever brought up to my Alexa
Can I-
anything for a podcast. Hold up. It gets crazier. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the heck? And it freaked me out so much that I actually put the Alexa on a mode where it cannot even listen
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
what it should have been on to begin with. That's what happens at my house.
Yes. And it's just crazy. If you guys have an Alexa out there, make sure you do put that mode on that Rob and I are both talking about. It will have a red ring on the bottom, and it will not listen to whatever
And
you
it
guys are
won't
saying.
speak. It won't
Yes,
speak.
it won't
If-
speak.
If you want it to speak, you have to take it off of that. But if you want to have privacy and you have this Alexa, which my parents have, I don't have one in my room, but my parents have one in pretty much every house in the room, or a camera of some sort, Alexa Ring, whatever. If I'm hanging out with friends, if I'm hanging out by myself, or if I want to just have free will, I will shut that off.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's the same. It takes 2 seconds. Press the red button. It's so much better.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. Like they're trying to pick up, they're trying to listen
Mm-hmm.
so that I can give you better things like that'll help you. But in doing so, they're picking up everything that you say, and that's scary.
Yeah. And another thing that's crazy is on your phone, Siri, it's a setting that they want people to turn on, and I hope with one of these updates you guys keep checking on it, is Siri always listening. So it basically says like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
hey
yeah.
Siri, like my phone's not working, like it
Make
won't.
sure to shut that off.
Yeah,
yes.
make sure to shut that off because you're basically giving them permission to listen to you all the time. And they're just going to say, well, we're just waiting for the cue, hey Siri. I don't care if it's waiting for a cue. I want to have privacy.
They can't. I'll say this: they can't use it against you. There's going to be some sort, if there's not already some sort of case that's in place in the future that will set a precedent that they can't use what you say in the comfort of your own home against you, because that's taking away your First Amendment right.
It
Freedom
doesn't
of
mean they
speech.
can't investigate further and then find something out later. I mean,
But in order to do that, there's certain guidelines and protocols they have to follow. It would be a breach of your First Amendment right. That's what I'm saying. There will do that. I do
The
think
society
so.
is-
But there will be a legal case that follows that will set a huge precedent in this. I
there
guess,
might already be one.
Well, that's why I said there might be one,
Yeah.
but I think we would have already heard
Yeah.
of it. It's a bit. It would be.
That's a
big
huge
deal.
topic. It's
And
scary.
I don't think they've done it yet. The
Yeah.
only thing they've done is they listened to the phones back in the Patriot Act to help get the terrorist, and
Yeah.
that obviously led the way for this. It paved it. It walked so this can run right now.
What about the type of scenario where someone is in their home and they're planning to do something and then they listen and then they find out, oh, whoa, these people are planning to do some awful things.
I'll tell you right now.
Is that still violating their First Amendment?
So there's two things you can do in replace of that, right? One, you can investigate it without getting in the person's way and therefore taking away their First Amendment right. That with you can send someone to watch them, and if they mention specifics about what would happen, have people ready to go. There are precautions to take that aren't just immediately let's storm the house and get this person. Sometimes that is the best case scenario. It all depends on the what's going on, what are they saying. It's a very thin line, and there's a lot of people can see a situation differently.
I hate to be that person on the other side again, but then they're going to be like, hey, I don't do anything bad. I'm not saying anything that's going to hurt anybody, but yet they're still listening to me. That's
Yeah.
violating my First Amendment.
Yes, I know. Yes, and that's the whole point. But that's what the Patriot Act was put in place to kind of help in cases like that, where it's someone saying they're going to do something that would be perceived as an act of terrorism. That's what the Patriot Act allows them to go in and say, okay, well, even though it is your First Amendment right, you're doing it as an act of terrorism. We're trying to prevent that. That's where that fine line is. Again, I do agree with you. I don't think we disagree here. I think it's really, really messed up that we have devices that could be listening to our every word. However, that is in the age of that we're in. We're setting up on a podcast, multiple devices that are recording us. It's normal, but I don't think it should ever be used against you. Like in 20 years, there shouldn't be, a bunch of clips of you saying shit.
A lot
from
of
when you
people
were
would go to jail if
15.
game chat got leaked, man. It'd be end days.
I'm not gonna comment on if I would go to jail or not.
But no, and Jared was telling me about a scenario that had happened to him with his phone listening to him. Do you want to?
Yeah, so not only did it pick up like information that I was having a conversation with a friend with, it genuinely brought it up on Amazon as an ad. It was just like, "Hey, would you like to buy this baby carriage?" Because I was telling someone,
shit.
I was telling somebody just about like, "Oh yeah," I was telling my brother and then like another friend, like, "Yeah, there's this like thing, like baby, whatever, whatever," and I was just talking about like baby related products. And next thing I know, on my feed and like ads were just all these like baby related things. I'm like, bro, I've never once searched baby in my feed.
Dude,
Like, where is this coming from?
that's everyone though. Everyone knows that that's the case because it pops up on everyone's feed, so it has to be, right? If it happened
Yeah.
a couple times, a coincidence.
You're-
It happens to everyone all the time to the point where everyone knows about it. Everyone's like, well, yeah, my feed is pretty much. Instagram works the same way. Jared and me were talking
Yeah.
about this. Our Instagram feeds are different. My Instagram's feed based on what I like.
That's multi-platform, man. That's
That's
from
everything.
Instagram.
They are feeding you what you want, and that's the whole cause of brain rot. That going back to brain rot, that is they're feeding you what makes you
The
continue
algorithm.
Spend
using
time
your
on their app.
That is all. People working behind computers, software. That right there could lead to, like we were talking earlier, AI taking over, because eventually they're gonna want AI to do that if they're not already doing that.
I was about to say
Creating
AI
these
may already be doing
algorithms
that.
to send to people's feeds.
It's
I think
weird how
technology is our greatest downfall, not nuclear weapons. I think technology is, because they have the power to use nuclear weapons.
That is like
Bro's literally he's quoting Terminator there.
I don't think I was quoting Terminator there.
But that's
but
what they
okay.
did.
No, they did, but it's not quoting it.
I know, not quoting.
Dude,
it
if there was a hill,
Paraphrasing the beginning of Terminator.
if there was a hill, the one side was technology is the greatest thing. You're on that complete opposite side. That
Technology
is leading to our
no,
downfall.
no,
Worse than global
no,
warming.
I'm on the steep down.
Yeah.
Don't get me. Don't.
He's
do
on.
that.
He's on that side.
I think there's benefits to technology, like we were talking about earlier, helping paraplegic people, helping everyday people do things. I can pay with my credit card items without having my wallet. Just Apple Pay. There are benefits, but the benefits will not outweigh the evil and the bad that will eventually come if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, great. We'll still be worried for as long as we live about this happening.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that if it happens, we all predicted it.
If it doesn't,
And if it doesn't, well, we still have to worry about it happening.
yeah,
Dude, so many people are in the dark about that topic, though, about how fast like technology is advancing. So many people are in the dark.
Yeah, yeah.
Like some people are just not aware.
I don't know if it. Maybe people just don't like to talk about it. I'm not one that loves to.
So to kind of cap on the topic we were talking about with the Instagram ads and knowing what it was going to feed us because of the algorithm, I've never once searched up a photographic background, like a backdrop, ever in my life. Never looked at it. I was only ever looking at it in person in Target. I've only ever told my sister. Well, I start going on Instagram and I start getting on these ads, and you could swipe on them. And I was looking, and it was just crazy because I kept getting these backgrounds. I kept getting stuff for cameras. I kept getting stuff for all this. And I can see the camera because I looked it up. But the things that they were showing me, like in that moment, I've looked at, and I was been looking for them. And I'm just like, it's crazy that my phone knows me more than I know myself. That's freaky.
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
That's
You better than yourself.
That's what it's starting to feel like.
I don't know about that.
Depends how much time you spend on your phone.
If you spend a lot of time on your phone, which you don't seem like you spend a lot of time on your phone, which is a good thing. But people
No,
like Jared and
I
we spend a decent.
I spend a fair
Why
amount.
am I getting grouped in this?
Because Jared, you are the definition.
No. I've actually cut down. And I'm not saying recently, but I've cut down in the past. Like I've literally gone blank on technology for three months. Like literally did not touch my phone, limited access, just used it for just plain texting and maybe texting and mostly calling.
No, that you see.
I've
You're
been there
half
before.
true. You're half true.
No,
You
I've
don't
been there
text.
before.
You don't text. You don't answer anyone's calls. You don't answer anyone's snaps. But you're on Instagram. You're on Tinder. You're on.
Whoa,
I don't know.
Believe it.
No, but it's just.
Can we talk about that? That's
Yeah.
another thing.
What's
If
that?
you told people, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, yeah, your grandkids are going to be able to meet other, people they want to mate with, I guess, or they like on dating apps on their phones. They'd be like, what?
Dude, you could tell them anything that's on your phone. If you just tell them
Do
you
you know how
have
many
a
people actually
pocket-sized
meet
phone,
up, like, over apps and shit?
A lot.
My-
You don't have these apps that are for just Christians or just.
Yeah, they have an app for every fucking people. Oh my god.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
What's
It's
the
just-
country
they
one?
have
There's a country one.
everyone.
What's
They
the
have everything.
It was an ad. It was
Yeah.
an ad on the TV all the time. Do you ever see the country one?
No, he was in the city.
No.
Oh,
But
he is
let me
a
tell
city
you, they
folk.
have an app for
Not for the
everybody,
city folk.
everyone, everything,
remember.
and I respect the shit out of that because that's awesome. They should. There shouldn't just be one app that's just like the be all end all. There should be this range. My aunt and uncle, they met on one of those apps.
Roblox?
Roblox, yeah. They met on Roblox. They were playing.
They've been on Netflix when it had Messenger.
Does it actually? It doesn't.
DS messages. They met on one of those apps that was designed for you to delete the app. It's like the whole point is you'll find your, other half.
I've heard of an app like that.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
And they go by the slogan like the app that's meant to be deleted.
Oh, that's
And I
actually
like
pretty
that
cool.
because that's good. That's the point, right?
Good
Yeah.
advertising.
I shouldn't need this app. I should, find the person and move on. So I thought that was awesome. And I just think it's awesome that you can do that now.
Okay, would you rather die on planet
They're
Earth,
going
or
to-
would you rather
Okay.
die in?
Let me just say this.
in outer space.
I'd rather die on planet Earth.
I think I'd rather die on planet Earth, honestly.
I'd want to be up there with
No,
the stars.
I'm
only-
very scared of space.
The only thing I would say
I'm not.
is I'm scared of space too. The only thing I'll say is
I wanna
would
go to
love to
Mars.
go up before I die, take one look at what the Earth looks like before I die.
Bro finds
Sent
out it's
down.
flat.
Finds out it's flat. Shit. They're gonna kill me, isn't it? Aren't they?
Well, that's a wrap. Take me away, God.
No, if it was flat, these private companies that sent people would have said so. It's not flat. Like
No, people who genuinely think the Earth is
That
flat,
is-
like,
that
come
is-
on, it's
there is a bunch of
There's
conspiracy
so
theories
much.
that are outlandish and wild. My top 3, I think we can create a list. My top 3, that is number 1.
What's number one?
Flat Earthers.
Flat Earth.
That is the most bullshit theory.
you know what's crazy?
Of
They have
all
the
time.
most. They have one of the most support. From
I
a lot
know.
of people.
That's what
a
ma-
lot of these celebrities.
Number 1 is that. Number 2, Scientology.
This is the same people I was referring to that don't know about the upcoming technology. That's the same people that I'm talking about.
Scientology is not what you're talking about. You're talking about Amish people, dude.
Dude, they're just there in society. They just mind their own business.
They live like it's 1600s.
Is that how you'd want to live?
No. I wouldn't mind a farm though. But I want to say number 1, fuck flat earthers. I hope you can keep that in. 2, Scientology, and number 3, the worst backing of the theory, the conspiracy theory. I have no theory, no belief in this theory. The whole 2000 Y2K shit. You know how people were saying oh, the world's gonna end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, it's delayed. It's gonna happen in
2004,
in
2012.
2012. The Mayans it's delayed. It was supposed to happen in 2023. Mayans got their calendar wrong. All
2018.
bullshit. I hate that. Stop trying to predict when the world's gonna end.
Yeah. No one knows.
It's conspiracy. I'm grouping it together. Every conspiracy theory number 3 is just anyone who thinks the world's gonna end and has a date for it. Fuck you and fuck your dates. If you're gonna say the world ends, say that it's gonna be in 3000 AD, AG, which is a billion years from now.
They already
Don't-
have it predicted with global warming. It's already
Fuck global warming.
it's already predicted when it's going to be
Global warming
uninhabitable.
is a myth. It is not true.
This is all gonna get cut.
He's college educated.
Jared, global
Sorry, bro.
warming is not true. I don't say that because that is just.
You don't believe in global warming?
I don't believe in climate change.
Dude,
There's no.
look outside.
backing. Okay, look at the.
You used to have
facts.
winters here.
Jared,
We
it's
can't put
still
this in there.
freezing
We
out.
can't put this
Jared,
in there.
we were outside. You were freezing. It's March 18th or some shit like that.
1998.
It's
3 days
50
from
degrees
now.
outside.
3 days from now, it's gonna be spring technically.
It's 50 degrees outside though.
Jared, it was 44.
44. It's not cold
When we
enough to
were
have
outside.
ice. Snow.
Jared, you used to have snow at this time.
Yes, we would have
In
snow.
March.
Yes.
No. You're crazy. Look, I just think that it's they've been saying it for 20 years. Al Gore ran on this in 2000 and he's like, the world's going to end by 2020 if we don't do anything. Greta Thunberg said the world was going to end. All these people that call themselves fucking climate activists, and I know this is going to get cut, so hold on a minute. Climate activists.
No.
and
It
fucking-
might not. I like
Okay.
this topic.
all these people that say, "Oh, the
Genuinely,
world's gonna
this is
end
a
in
cool
2020." We're still here, unless it ends next year. These people are wrong, and it's gotten to a point where their tweets have aged so long. It's like a tweet from 2017 that says the world's ending in 3 years, and it's been 7 years since the tweet and 4 years since we were supposed to die, and people are like, it's like an anniversary. They'll be like, "Happy anniversary to this tweet that came true."
All right. So, to recap with you, scientifically, has sea level rise? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Scientifically, are the icebergs melting that cause rise
Yes.
in the sea level? All right. So, not only is the atmosphere getting warmer, would you say?
I wouldn't go as far as saying that. I'm
So,
not sure.
why are the icebergs melting?
The
Why
icebergs
would
are
you say what's
melting
causing that?
from deforestation in the Arctics in both poles, human
Deforestation as in trees.
No. Getting
He's really trying to get him.
Yeah,
I'm
seriously.
looking to like brew from the bottom with this one.
It's destroying one's ecosystem is what
Okay,
the true term
yeah.
of deforestation. But anyway, Jared, since you want to be a
Alright.
smart fucking ass,
All right, let's talk.
the reason why these glaciers are melting is in fact due to that, to a factor. It is not to the
Okay.
extent that people are saying. It's a slower thing, but it's also happening because of man-made structures that are happening in the poles. When they bring these huge ships in,
Yeah,
to
when they
go-
were untouched.
when these people go and do like animal shows, they bring in all these helicopters and these tools and they use shit. That stuff, they're creating energy right there. It slowly, melts the ice in that certain area. That has an effect because if you melt ice on one part, it can be a part of another part that falls. That's where the big clips of glaciers, falling off. It starts with a small thing, but it steamrolls into that. So, look, global warming, it's happening to a certain degree, but to the extent that these so-called smartasses in Hollywood and smartasses in the world believe it is, it's just bullshit.
Okay.
And they say that to scare people into signing into legislation, green deals, and energy deals that will help do this. But in fact, in doing so, it doesn't really have an effect. It's done nothing. We still have to rely on getting oil. We still have to rely on other things. And even if we didn't, the global warming crisis would still be happening. So that's just, again, my 2 cents. I'm not politically correct. That's how I feel. That's how I interpret it.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it.
That's the whole point of this. It's not to sit there and say you should believe what Rob says or you should believe what I say.
You should
No.
disagree with me. As a
Disagree
matter of fact,
to
go in
agree.
the comments, say, guy in the glasses is an absolute dumbass.
He's an
And
idiot.
I would love to just,
Have
I
a
would love to
one-on-one
see
with
that.
them.
No, I think if people have different views and opinions on certain things, that's awesome. That's what makes us human at the end of the day. Instead of being a robot where there's one straight answer, you're
Mother.
yourself.
Also, to the people
Always
that
a
said
robot.
global warming is going to end the world in 20 years, that's outrageous. I can completely agree with that. Like, that will never happen. It's the fact that the world will slowly get warmer in parts that are like at 100 degrees now, like India, some parts of it. In the main cities, they're running ACs like every single household. Like, they've had power outages and it's become unlivable.
You ever been to Florida?
No, but I know that's one of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Florida's hot. Let me tell you though, there are ways around it. Obviously,
Well, I was like around ACs.
the heat rising. You have to realize that humans as a species have evolved over time, right? We've evolved since our Neanderthal days, and our body temperature has also changed and fluctuated throughout our evolution. If the world gets warmer, we could evolve into being, what is it, cold-blooded then? So you can survive in hotter heats. More cold-blooded, our body temperature can go down. It is a real possibility. Obviously, that takes a lot of time and it won't happen in our lifetimes or probably our grandkids or their grandkids. But over time, if, really global warming starts to really rise up these numbers, we could see at the same time the human side of this, their body temperature going up. People don't talk about that because they want to scare you.
Yeah, I mean, that is a way of hurting sheep, to scare them, to get them to do something, to get on board with anything. I think there's always a problem
We've
with
seen that multiple times.
I only ask that you not
Do
be a
certain
sheep. We
things.
obviously we've had our
We're Avengers.
fair
We're defying.
We've had our fair share of people that can be constituted as sheep-like. So all I'll say is just have an opinion and believe in that. If you feel like you're wrong, that's okay.
Yeah.
Admit where you're wrong. What if I say something and someone, fact checks it? I'm not gonna be like, well, no, I was right. I admit to when I'm wrong. That's what makes us human, like you were saying. We're not robots. Admit our faults
Not
and
Not yet, till we get that implant.
Jared, I feel like you're gonna sign up tomorrow
No.
to get that brain chip because
I
then you
mean-
can be chronically online, literally.
I just have like it's just like a hologram that's just around
Imagine
my face.
lagging. Imagine lagging while you're going through your own door.
Bro,
I can't seem to grab it.
there's an old
They just
there's
said
an old South Park episode where Cartman's just got like the VR goggles on and stuck in this VR world, and it's just like that's Jared. Some sports headlines for you. Obviously, the big NFL talk is that free agency is up and going. Kirk Cousins signing a 4-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons worth up to 180 million.
Too high.
Got over 100 million guaranteed. The big signing, I guess, in terms of the running back department, Philadelphia Eagles signing hometown kid. How do you say his name? What's his name? Justin, what's his name?
I don't even.
Shaquan?
No, I don't even know. All I know is his name is known as Trader.
Oh,
Trader.
Trader?
So yeah, he traded. He's a trader.
Shaquan Barkley joining the Eagles on a 3-year deal, about 37 million, 23 million guaranteed. Other places, a couple signings. Keenan Allen traded to the Bears, going to team up with Caleb Williams, who traded Justin Fields to the Steelers. We traded Kenny Pickett to the Eagles, so the quarterback carousel moving quite around. I'm getting a phone call as I do this. I love this. My right leg is vibrating. Going to NHL, the trade deadline came and went. A couple teams made some big deals. Hurricanes acquired Jake Gensel. Golden Knights got Noah Hannafin and Tomas Hertl. The New York Rangers, my favorite team, currently leading the Metro Division. And the New York Rangers are playing really good hockey right now on top of the Metro Division with over 92 points, just beating the Islanders 5-2 yesterday.
Bro needs his own sports channel.
He had his own.
No.
In baseball talks.
You have a room now. I mean,
I know. I could do it.
you
now.
just have to do all the editing on your
Yeah,
own.
I would.
I would
And
lo-
you're on camera.
I would do
No,
it.
no,
I'm joking.
I would do it.
So hear me out. Go on
No,
Amazon.
no camera. I don't need it.
So this is my
Just
genuine
be
idea.
a Spotify playlist.
You could genuinely post on Spotify. And
Let me know
have
in the comments
people-
down below if you guys want a sports podcast that's kind of a spin-off of Just Yakkin.
Yeah.
See if we can get that up and running in the next 4 to 6 business days. 46 business months.
So what I'd recommend for anybody that's like looking to do a podcast, no joke,
We're not
it's,
the
it's
people to recommend that yet.
no. I'm just saying though, like if you buy a SIM card for the soundboard and the camera, you could technically have a whole different crew come in here, change up the scene a little bit, and you could have someone come in here and
Yeah,
just
let's
talk
start
about
renting this out,
sports.
Justin.
Yeah, to make like small profit, you could like literally imagine making this huge investment and making a small profit. Because why would you make a huge investment without like looking at like an end goal without making no money for a long time? Because we're not gonna make money for 6 months, like to be honest. And I'm not saying we're gonna even blow up then, but like this is not a money revenue type thing till like it picks up in life, which it may never happen. But we're here just testing the waters. But imagine if other people came in here and they did their sports talk, they did a makeup talk, and people came in here and just talked about like their own experiences like we're doing. We're just sitting here talking about our own opinions to the people. We're just trying to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if someone came in, had their own SIM card for the camera, SIM card for the board.
I think that's.
They took it out on their own accord and then they edit their own videos.
I think.
how cool that'd be.
I think.
What do you think?
Wishful thinking. I think you're wishfully thinking right now.
Like you wouldn't want to come in here and have your
No,
own
no,
sports
I
talk?
would, but I'm not fucking buying a SIM card.
It's how much is it?
10, 15 bucks for
Yeah, but-
64 gigabytes.
Okay, if I'm
That's
serious,
plenty
if they're
for an
serious
episode.
into doing a podcast, then yes. But also, do we know anyone that's going to do a podcast?
Yes. There are multiple people that are like I've talked to like, hey, would this be a cool idea?
Yeah, no, I think podcasting is something that I think everybody should do. There's more and more people every day. Everybody's like, well, competition in demand. I think that with a lot of people like coming on YouTube, I mean, YouTube is one of the hugest platforms in Spotify. Not as big as YouTube, but there's a lot of
Apple
supply
Podcasts.
and demand.
Apple
I mean,
Podcasts is big.
yeah, it's definitely.
What's-
Be sure to
what
like
are-
and subscribe in the comments below. There's gonna be a huge thread of where you guys can follow more of our
Yeah,
content.
you haven't said that yet. I thought
Yeah.
you would have by now.
So be sure to like us on Twitter. Like we didn't have it last episode.
Follow us on all handles, and it'll be in the description down
right
below.
there's a like button.
That-
But there, it'll be right there.
And I'm very, very thankful. Thank you for all the 31 subscribers at the moment right now that we have.
You gotta be
I think that's
humble.
an applause. I mean, that's something. 31 people.
It's only
wanna
going to
listen
go up
us.
from here now that I'm
Only
here.
up unless
Now that I've joined,
Unless Rob gets us canceled, then
Yeah.
we go down.
I'm probably canceled myself.
But no, thank you guys so much for subscribing, liking, and watching. It is definitely helpful. We just want to make you guys happy and take you along for the ride. I mean, that's the whole part of the whole show. So I
Walking
want to
here.
talk a little bit
Walking.
more about space and what you guys think about space. And you said earlier that you're not really afraid of it. What are you not afraid of?
Okay, yes, a black hole could come out of nowhere tomorrow and end the world. Yes, that's a like, but space overall.
Very pessimistic way
Yeah,
of
I
looking
mean,
at it.
that's not how I want to view space. I view space as like there's so much to explore. There's so much out there. Like,
Emptiness.
yes.
There's so much emptiness in space. It's scary. I
think-
don't like that. I don't like that. It takes us 400 billion light years just to get to the nearest.
Planet that has
Planet
water,
just like
and
us,
maybe
apparently.
like trees. you know. Guess what's more rare? Trees, wood, or diamonds in
Wood.
space?
Wood.
Because you
Yes.
just said trees.
Yes.
But they didn't know that.
Yeah, that's it. It actually blew my mind. I was sitting there like
I don't
actually
think
looking.
that's a fact, but okay.
No, it is a fact.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there are
Did it with a
planets.
brain ride.
Yeah, I watch a lot of brain rot.
I know,
can tell
but
you.
Jared speaking facts is a very
You know what's actually so
rare
funny
occurrence.
is when you like when something gets posted on TikTok and then everybody in the comment section is like a pro at that. They're like, oh wait, no, that's not true. Like you say something and then everybody just becomes like a medic.
because everyone thinks they're right.
Yeah, it's just so funny. So like you
In
saying
fact-
this, you can put it on TikTok and people are like, well, actually, no, turquoise is like more rare.
So
It's just
actually,
like,
wait,
come
this
on.
is great. This is great. We have a TikTok. Do you guys know what's going on right now with TikTok?
They're gonna get it banned.
Do you know what the
Oh.
situation is though?
It's
All I
it's
know
the
is-
government. You can go.
The
That-
government
I know
doesn't
very
like
little.
who's in control of it right now, and they want it to be switched. So they're doing this
You
as
can
like
say them.
kind of like a stunt.
No,
Right?
the government is telling them to get rid of their Chinese partners and owners to become become an American company because it's a Chinese company that we kind of discovered was spying on us through this app that would record and they would get details of these people and
That's
the
a
US
lot of information.
it's a lot of information
to
that the
take in.
Chinese government now had on America. I don't know if we have that on them necessarily, and that's why they want them to get rid of the backer, the people that
created the app.
created the app, and they're trying to say, okay, well, you have time to get someone else. There's a famous guy, Steve Mnuchin, who was the Secretary of the Treasury during the Trump administration, who has already said that he would like to buy TikTok. And he's very rich, Steve
Well,
Mnuchin.
who
He's
wouldn't want to buy it? It's a
well, yes, but
They're not
who
gonna
has
sell
the
it.
money for it?
They
No,
won't
I
sell
wouldn't
that.
sell it.
I don't know if they'll sell it, but
They
who has
won't.
the money for it is also another
Elon
thing.
Musk.
Elon Musk doesn't necessarily need to buy TikTok after he bought Twitter.
I know.
He calls it X squared.
I like
That
that.
would be so funny.
Double X.
Squared.
Double
It's
X.
still Twitter though.
Yeah, I know. You could search up his Twitter X. It doesn't matter. It's just the
It's Twitter/X.
yeah.
And I like that. I appreciate that.
No,
That
the
uses
only thing
the
like
apps
I
now.
like Twitter,
Same.
what it has done in the past like couple months, I think to the last couple years, whenever Elon took it over, I thought he did personally really good with it. I mean, he's giving people a voice, which I don't think anybody, no matter what opinion nor how they feel, should always have like an opinion on something. They should be able to say it, no matter if it's wrong or right. I mean,
That's basically what
Yeah.
we're doing.
yeah, we have an opinion on
Alright.
everything. Like Rob says something I don't agree with, and I'm not going to sit there and say I don't want to even be near you anymore. Like the whole point.
bitch.
Well, he could say that about me. You know, I just sit there and smile.
You can just bleep it out in the
But,
edits.
No,
Like a
it's
good
just
boy.
like Twitter, what it has done and how it has basically given people their voices back. I find that awesome. I still think it has a lot to come. I mean, there's still a lot more that has to be done with it.
I thought
But
we were talking about space.
yeah, every single time I bring up space, y'all just keep moving on from it.
I don't even know how we got off topic,
I
but
don't know how we got off.
I don't
topic.
know either, but finally,
This is our space.
this is our
Portion.
space portion.
Can I say space? It is the final frontier. That is something that was said in somewhere very famously that has always stuck with me. We have gone everywhere we can on this planet
Cap.
that is
Water.
Land.
Oh.
If you would have...
Okay, no, I thought you said on this planet. Sorry.
And not cut me off. Maybe you wouldn't have had to go, not true.
No. It's
Like
just
a TikTok troll.
dude,
Not true, actually.
Okay.
You.
Yes, I can see why you'd say space is kind of like a final frontier, but it's just like,
It's the last place.
yeah, what do we
can
do
go
after
explore.
that? Like,
There's nowhere else to
Yeah.
explore. You can once you reach space, the only thing left is the planets itself. You've reached the.
yeah,
There's nothing else.
that's crazy. Uh-oh.
Cap. Camera died.
Camera died.
All
Or
right,
maybe
great.
it overheated. Hold up. I never thought that camera would have died, and it did.
Mid-recording.
Mid-recording, too, which is...
Episode 2.
What?
Battery must have been low.
No, it was at 100.
Cool.
That's crazy. But, like we were talking about space, it's just crazy how...
The final frontier.
I feel like as a civilization, we are trying to become more and more like a god figure. We're creating things like robots, and we're trying to colonize other places. People only see our creator as that. If you're religious or not, I don't know all the religions exactly, but the one I'm referring to is Christianity, where they refer to as God, where they basically
The creator.
the creator. So, like, in a sense, humans are trying to be like a creator. They're creating things in our image.
It's natural.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that, like, more and more every day, like, space, there's always talks. We literally sent, what? How much was Hubble? That
I don't even
telescope
want to talk
was
about
so
that.
much money. Sent it in space, and it's, like, going through and it's
But here's the
relaying
problem.
pictures
Ready for
backwards.
this? And I'll give you the devil's advocate for doing all that. We have so many domestic problems in the U.S. alone, but just as the Earth, that if we want to, sustainably live on this Earth until we have the technology to settle other planets, we need to spend more money here than there. Like, it's ahead of our time to go and start colonizing.
That's why we should go to space.
No, we don't have the technology to sustain a colony yet.
I know.
We're years from that. I don't know for long time, but we're still a while away from being able to reasonably build a colony on Mars that can house a lot of people with oxygen for everyone, enough oxygen. How do you get that? It's not realistic yet. So instead of worrying about that, we should be focused on.
We can't even take care of the people on our streets, let alone
Exactly.
doing all that. Like, why would they even want to colonize another place? Like, come on.
Because the new frontier.
Yeah.
Explore
Yep.
more. Land.
Explore more.
Land. Not planets. Land.
But oh my god.
Love you, bro.
Well, I want to talk about space, and you guys
Bro,
don't want
it's just
to.
space is
I'm
just-
not willing.
I'm not willing.
I want to say
You don't? Do you not like the idea of space?
I don't like the idea of space because I think it's a money grab. It's not something that's.
He's like, it's fake. It's all
No,
delusion.
I don't think it's fake. I just think it's a money grab, especially now with the whole private sector of being able to send people there. It's a cool idea, but is it the best way for us to be using our resources? Probably not.
Well, it's not our resources. It's
No, I'm not saying.
SpaceX's resources.
No, I'm not saying the privatized sector. I'm talking about the NASA. I'm not someone that thinks funding NASA is the best to the extent that we do. Should we fund NASA? Yes, but to the extent that we do, probably not, because we
Where else would you want the
30
funds?
trillion.
What
Yeah.
happened to NASA? Did they go bankrupt? Like,
Yeah,
why'd they stop?
I haven't seen stuff from
They stopped because they don't have enough to go back. It's a costly thing to send a rocket to space.
Why would you want to spend all that money just to leave it up there? Like, if I spend money on something,
Well,
I
it's not-
want it.
No, it's
like,
not
I don't.
that. It's
There's a
more of-
purpose behind
There's
it.
a discovery
always
purpose. Yeah, but it's just
I think it's just something that we should spend more money at home.
fix what we have here
Fix
before
what
we
have
do.
here before. Because the whole idea of colonizing is we need somewhere else to live because eventually the Earth is gonna go.
Because it's flat.
Yeah, exactly.
and it's global warming.
100%. Yep. My two favorite theories. And reality though, seriously,
Theories.
if we want to be able to colonize other planets, the whole point of that is that our Earth is gone. Why, instead of just not letting our Earth
Be
get to a
around.
place where we can't sustain life on it.
Yeah. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe and put in the comments what you guys think about Rob. Do you like him? Do you not like him?
I don't have to be back.
Should we keep him?
No, that's what you were segueing to. Like, let
we-
us know if he's a good addition or did you like the first episode better? Everyone's like, episode 1, episode 1, episode 1. I'm like, fuck. Stop. There we go. It's another one on the counter. I had the I had the bleep.
Oh, gold.
If you guys do not like Rob, don't say anything. If you like Rob, like the video.
No.
Oh, wait,
opposite.
actually change it.
Opposite.
Other way
Don't
around.
like me. Like the video.
If you made it this
Watch
far.
me get like 500,000 likes. I'd be like, damn.
Fucking pop off.
Oh.
Be like, yeah, Rob, I don't know if they liked you or didn't want you back on, man. Like, it was very
So-
good having you on, though,
It
nonetheless.
was
No, that
great
was-
being here.
It was cool. It was cool in the time. At the time being.
The unofficial
It's
first
great.
guest.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope to see you guys at the next video because these next upcoming videos are going to be so fucking cool.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to us. Seriously, it is such a fucking dream to sit here and just yap for nonsense and about shit that we like. And we hope we're interesting enough that you've stuck with us this whole time. We'll get better. We'll become more interesting.
I hope the hook was good.
The
That's
hook-
all that I like.
the hook-
That's what I like to do.
Hopefully the hook was good. I do want to say I cannot wait to start asking people questions. And do let us comment, like, subscribe, do all that shit. Comment below, what you think, what you want us to do, what you want to see, what are you interested in, anything you fucking want. Comment, be active, feedback, whatever.
Yeah.
Jared, you want to say anything before we wrap it?
No, I'm fine with that.
All right.
Thank you so
Justin.
much, guys. And when you start seeing robots, make sure you think about Rob when you see them.
Make sure the 3 rules of robots.
All right, it's getting cut right now.